Welcome to another edition of the Eastgate UK show, guys. And we're here with Minty, a seasoned regular on the show. And Minty has got herself a new electric skateboard.
I have indeed, and then I changed to the program tonight. I just thought I'd give you a quick look at the board if you'd like.
Yes, so tell us what it is to start with. What is that?
Yeah, well, those who've been following for any time in the last 7 months will know. I don't buy lots of boards.
Guys.
It's a Propel Endeavour, a Propel Endeavour Pro. I guess I got excited about it when I first. Oh, here's Craig. Morning.
Hello, Craig.
Morning from Australia. So I guess I knew that Scott Davies had one for testing, and so it was before any of the YouTube videos really came out. So I did take a punt on a pre-order, and it turns out that it just by some real freak. The one order that I chose happened to be the one that was delayed and delayed and delayed. So there's been lots of other orders. So I ordered it on the 9th of July, 2021.
2021.
7 months. So James, hi James. So it's been a bit exceptional. So all the rest of the boards have arrived kind of in the UK kind of in about 2 months, which is absolutely fair enough. It's just been this one delivery that's been a bit the bane of everybody's life because it's been the first UK distributor ones. But anyway, it's arrived now.
So you start to think you might be the victim of one of these, like Evolve skateboards, where maybe half of the people will get not Evolve. I don't want to slander Evolve here. What was the other brand?
Skateboard.
Yeah, one of these projects that didn't.
One of the Kickstarters that wasn't kicked. No, well, I think, I mean, I did my research beforehand. Spoke a lot to Russell Satonia, who's been on the show. He was involved in developing the board. He spoke very highly of the guys at Propel. I was excited about the auto kind of engineering background, the fact it had independent suspension. That was a different design. It wasn't a copycat of anything else. It was, a new, innovative sort of design. So I was a little bit reduced pricing. James, you stirrer, you.
I was actually when I said Evolve, I actually was thinking Inertia.
Another e-board, but no. So no, I was sure that it wasn't a scam. But I guess partly the only thing is when you're buying a first generation of anything, there's that risk of, is it going to be right, or is it going to be, are there going to be lots of errors? Scott, man, it's all his fault. It's all Scott's fault. He was telling me about how good it was, and I've got to give it to Scott because he messaged me off time, before his YouTube video had gone live and answered some of my questions, and that's when I decided, what, I'm gonna go for it, even if it is first generation, and even if there are other issues. So it's arrived. Let me see if I can just get it in front of the camera for you. So it's a bit of a beast. I mean, it's built like a bloody tank. Your delay was insane. It really was a little bit funky. So as Daniel Kwan said, it's very portable. As long as you're to do a little bit of weightlifting.
So how much does it weigh then, Minty?
So this is the Pro version. So this is 20 kilos. The S is a 12S 3P, and it's 17 kilos. So one of the only things, you just see that there's got a little antenna there. Can you see it? And I've put like a little V-shaped protector around it. That's one of the only mods that I've made so far, because that was, basically
that doesn't add much to the weight, though, is it? I mean,
antenna mod. No, that's plastic. That's not going to add much. But one of the things, like the bottom of the board, that's all Yeah, the X4S is huge. So the bottom of the
So,
board, the enclosure is metal rather than plastic. So
so Minty,
it's
you
a
do
bit
quite
like
a lot of
tank.
weights and working out.
Yeah,
Can you
I
lift
can
a
do some.
20
I can do
kg?
some curls, some
So,
bicep curls on these things. So you
so
can
if you
see
want to
the
know if a Propel endeavor is for you, you can go to the gym, pick up a 17K arm curl bar and a 20K arm curl bar and see which one you can lift, right?
yeah, you just got to go large. So and that's it. The antenna protector. Yeah, cheers. It's one of the few things I think on the board that I was definitely going to do something with to start with, just in case it got caught.
Is there any way, Minty, you could prop up so we could see the suspension or the trucks on it?
Yeah, I can just. So that's the.
There are some pretty beefy looking trucks, got suspension, got springs.
Yeah, I mean,
Reminds me of the board, if you remember that one.
yeah. So just take it back a bit.
It's really
So yeah, so it's coilover springs on the front and rear, both independent, and like I say, 12S 5P battery, and it's well, one of the main things that I got it for was the range. It's like for a 75 kilogram rider. Admittedly, all these things are a little bit, variable, flat ground and everything, but they reckoned on 44 miles for a 75 kilogram rider, and Scott got a decent run out of it. So obviously in Scotland it's bloody cold, so that's going to knock the range down a bit. But yeah, it should be good for a decent day out, I guess.
so. Your old boards, right, were street boards with the street wheels in general, if I remember correctly.
Yes, they were indeed. They were indeed. Aye. So it's a bit of a departure. So I had two street boards, and one I ran with street wheels, and the other one I ran not for very long with cloud wheels, but I quite like the cloud wheels. I thought they were all right. So it's not like I'm not. I still wouldn't mind running a board with street wheels or cloud wheels.
But now that you've gone to fully pneumatic with suspension,
I'll see how I get on. But I think I'm enjoying the idea of trying something different. I mean, this was something that is quite different. The kind of crossover design. So I wasn't really needing. I've never added the aerial to mine. It's never had a single. So there you go. I never added the aerial to Scott's one. There we go.
I'm just thinking, compared to your last setup, it's probably like going from street wheels to almost floating on a cloud with the pneumatics and the full suspension. How does it feel right now?
Well, I'll tell you as soon as you might notice actually from how clean it is that I only got it for. So the packaging, what was the packaging like? So it was really well packaged, and interestingly, it was to those hard, those super hard corner pieces roundabout. It had a decent amount of foam in between as well. I know that the latest ones have got the light bracket, which acts as a bit of a another strengthener for the axles in case the boards get shunted about a bit in transit. I guess for mine, despite the fact it took forever to get here, it was tip top, absolutely perfect when I got. There was no issues at all. Arrived with about 20% battery in it, so just perfect. Because obviously you wouldn't want it sitting fully charged for all that time. But no,
some great information for all those packaging enthusiasts out there.
those packaging enthusiasts, yeah. So the only other thing I've got to do before I really go out on it is there's a couple of, because there's so many screws and so many linkages and stuff like that. What the guys that have been riding them have reckoned is there's a couple of screws just behind the main pivot point that as you ride, they can back themselves out. So I'm just going to pop that main pivot bolt, put some Loctite on those two screws, and then that's it. You know, I'm good to go. I might put on my street tires. Do you want to see my street tires I bought as well?
Oh, you bought both the street and the pneumatics.
Well, no.
The
Well,
ATs.
they're both. I'm saying street wheels, but they are still street. They're just road pneumatics. They're
I
not.
wouldn't really call them. Oh, so you've got different treads. You've got two different treads.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
So those ones, the ones that comes with are off-road tires, but
so they'll be grippy, and those ones will be more fuel efficient, smaller grip.
I guess now these are not the Propel. The Propel are doing a street tire, but I didn't go for their ones yet because the off-road tires are 8-inch, the street tires are 7-inch. Right now, usually you put a 7-inch tire on instead of an 8-inch tire, you get more range, right?
More
because it's
torque,
smaller.
right?
Yeah, but because these have got massive pulleys, I'll just show you the pulleys on the back. The size of the pulleys.
Mm-hmm.
So so they sit one hand, they sit quite low next to the tire. So if you put a 7-inch on there, you don't have then that much clearance. Plus the gearing, you know, if you don't change the gearing, it's outside the most effective range, so you're actually losing a bit of range with a 7-inch at the moment. So if they provide a different gearing that works for the 7-inch, I might go for it.
Okay. Well, so we went to some third-party maker to get those wheels?
Yeah, it's just Wing Moto ones off of Amazon.
Do you have to check that the well, there's obviously an insert that goes into the spokes of the wheels, I'm guessing, that's got the pulley on it?
Yeah, no, well, this is just
Oh, just
so
a
you just
tire.
unscrew the rims,
Got
and
it.
the rims go in half because it's a pneumatic, so it's just a standard 20 by 200 by 50. As long as it's got the same sizes. James just put up about the bushings. So that's the only other thing that folk have said about the Propel is it's really stable, but verging on the too stable a little bit in terms of if people are trying to carve hard on it, particularly if they're not of the bigger built gentleman variety or ladies, you know, they're finding it's a bit it's not as carvy as they would like. Some people have been saying it does take about 50 miles to run in, but it's not so.
Given what those trucks look like, does it actually use standard bushings? Can you just get some orangutans or something and pop them in, or is it?
No, they're a bespoke. They're a big sort of almost square bushing, and they're really, really hard. But a couple of the guys that have early versions of it, they've been testing different versions. Some people have been doing homebrew mods by drilling a few holes in it to make it, you know, a bit more malleable. But nobody recommends that.
Drilling holes in the existing bushings, got you. Like a piece of cheese.
So, but basically, they just literally today, Propel have said that they're going to have the new bushing options available by the end of this month. So I think I'll probably go for, if this is the hard bushing, if they've got a medium bushing, I reckon I'll probably start with that. I mean, I'm about 80 kilos, so middle of the road, kind of British, so I suppose weight. So I reckon I'll probably go for that and see how I get on. But it's certainly, it looks really well.
What, 180 something pounds?
That's that, yeah. So does the board work okay? So I mean, it's immaculate, it's tip top. I mean, in terms of actually riding it, like I say, I've had it since Monday, and I've been working away 3 days this week. I've had a concert in Glasgow, and it's been back to back completely wild storms, so that there's not even been a dry. Even if I did have a minute off, it's been rubbish. So I really, really hope at the weekend I get a bit of dry time. High quality road tires. Yeah. Many punctures. Well, that's an interesting one. Craig's talking about punctures. So usually on my motorbike, like I would only ever use like radial tires because the radial belt, because they perform better at high speed. But for these tires, I've actually gone for a cross ply because if you can, I don't know if you can see that, but that compared to some pneumatics, that's actually a really, really solid sidewall. So pinch punctures is what you're, used to getting, but that's pretty solid. So the downside is that I measured this, and this is 370 grams. So it's a bit of a beefier tire. So, but like I say, I think you can afford it with a range,
Benny, now that we've had a chat about the trucks and the wheels, I was thinking remote at the end actually. Can you show us that enclosure again?
Can I show you that? What? Sorry?
The enclosure and how it fits onto the board and what battery it's got inside it.
Yeah, so it's the enclosure's metal.
Screws there, I can see. Is it?
So it's a 12S5P. That's the charger. Just move the charging port.
5P, so
That's the charging port there.
Right.
Underneath. And then
charging plug.
And then,
I mean, does it look like it's waterproof?
Well, it's got an IPX rating, but they don't recommend working with it too much in the water. That's the power button here. Just there.
How does the enclosure feel? Does it feel like it would take a good knock and not bend or ding too much?
Yeah, well, everything looks pretty solid. I mean, there have been some people that have smashed it off rocks already, I guess. I guess the design of the whole the suspension arms and everything are supposed to be sacrificial, so that bits that are going to bend and break do so before they do anything to the.
A bit like tank design, where I feel like sometimes they should make the enclosure with some sloping parts so things would glance off it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, James is saying that there might be donuts for hub motors. How's that going to work? Because it'll go from hub.
Is another question.
Yeah, hub to then space and then on the outside.
We could just have massive ones, I suppose. So, do you have any idea what electronics it's got inside there, Minty?
Yeah, so it's based on VESC. That's a VESC 4.4 that's in it. The newer ones that are just being out now are VESC 6. So it's a VX2 remote. I've put a Elite 3D sleeve on it, 3D printed sleeve, because I always like to protect my remotes. Because the idea of if you trash it and you're miles away from home, I always like to do something with my remote. So I've got a sleeve on that.
Remote that you could show us, Minty?
It's in the house, but I can pop and get it. It'll take me 2 seconds if you want.
But it's a standard e-skate remote, or is it?
It's a VX2. Have you seen the VX2 remotes? So it's a thumb wheel one with a color. It's just a standard VX2, which is a decent enough.
So that's the one with like the flip ski with the LCD screen.
That's the one.
Okay, yeah, and this thumb wheel LCD screen. I think a lot of people have seen the flip ski one that they offer. What's James asking?
Yeah, that's basically it. What about a skid plate for off-road use? Well, I tell you, James, here's a first.
Weight, wouldn't it?
Of what?
It would add to the weight of a very heavy board already.
It would add to the weight. Well, funnily enough, Russ has got a carbon fiber sort of plate for the bottom. You wouldn't want to be rattling off rocks, but it's a really nice one that Jave and the maker made for the development team. So they've got some pretty cool handcrafted ones that are there. But I might put like a rubber strip along the bottom. Design, I mean, it's a standard remote. I mean, to be honest, if I was saying anything about the remote, the VX3, which looks identical, is the one that is used for some of the e-foils and stuff, and it's completely waterproof. I think that would be a nice touch, but they are much more expensive remote. But they're a good all-round remote apparently. So
well, since you've got the Vesk, you can, in theory, swap remotes, can you?
yeah, I mean, I know James was saying that people were saying something about the remotes could be better, but I don't think he's, to be honest, I don't think anybody said that about the VX2 version. The Propel, the Endeavour S, which has the 12S3P battery, it's got a Lingy ESC on it, and it's got a standard Lingy remote. And I think there have been some people saying, you know, that they would quite like a better remote than that, but I haven't heard anything about the VX2 personally.
So when you hold the VX2 in your hand, does it, you know, I quite like obviously the classic kind of boosted that got copied by, you know, many kind of Chinese electronics companies, but does it feel too big? Does it feel bulky? Does it feel good? What do you think?
It's all right. It's got that kind of trigger shape, you know, a little bit of, you know, it feels all right. It feels fine in your hand. I mean, like I say, from so far, I've only got from playing about with it indoors. I haven't had a single dry moment to get actually out and ride the blooming thing. So
the one thing I always feel about LCD speed displays is when you're actually going really fast and you want to check the speed, it's quite an effort to, like, you know, be checking on the LCD and not looking at the road, you know.
Yeah, I'm not one for checking things like that a lot of the time. So Sookie's asking about bindings. It's been a bit of an interesting one, the bindings, because they've said that the first generation they haven't really designed it for bindings, but their next model they are. But they have got holes. They've got mounting holes that I can show you here, just next to the plate. You see just these little holes here. So you've got two holes there.
Yeah.
So they're like threaded.
They could be mountings for bindings.
Yeah. So some people have stuck on freeboard half hooks.
Oh yeah, the ones that are just kind of like, you don't have to put your feet into them; you can just jump.
Yeah, they're just kind of that way. So some people have just mounted them to there, but then obviously the thing is that mounting point's at an angle, so they've just bent the thing up. So it's a bit of a.
So it comes in at the wrong angle and you can't get your feet under it properly.
Well, people have modified them, but prepare specific carry handles. Well, interestingly, at 20 kilograms, somebody asked in the forum about backpacks, and they said, "You're got to be joking." You know, 20 kilogram in a backpack's a lot. Carry handles. I mean, this is just how I carry it. Is well, how I lift it. It's quite comfortable. It's just put my hands. See, just completely knocked the camera there.
You could Minty a comment, right? I know what you mean about bags. You could probably get a bag that would take it. It's just those wheels are so bulky. Maybe you could get some strap or something.
You can pick it up. Well, it does have handles. Do you see underneath it? So there's like grab handles at the front and the middle and at the back. But that's also for Russ that designed it, was involved in designing it. He likes to do runs on the beach and stuff, and he does all that bending down and grabbing onto the board and skids and stuff. So it's a nice little touch. But I might have a go at making like a strap with a handle that I can just hold it alongside me. But you wouldn't want to be carrying it for too long, really. No. But we're riding it, having wings. Are you thinking, Sookie? Are you thinking about those stick-on wings that was it Backfire are putting on some of their boards? They're putting bolt-on things. No, that's my only other mods are going to be, I think, these, which are just 3D printed shred light adapters.
Okay.
A guy called Gene Givens has made. Got these from the USA, and I've got a new set of shred lights, a wind spoiler, a new set of the shred light 300s, with angled brackets for the front and rear. So yeah, I can't wait to get out and actually ride the blooming thing. But at the moment, the weather and life is just getting in the way. But hopefully we'll get out in it in the next couple of days.
Well, we look forward to hearing how it rides and what you think of it once you've actually given it a bit of time riding. So I hope everybody enjoyed learning about the Propel tonight. And that's all from me and Minty. Ciao for now, guys. Ciao, ciao.
See you later.